Hello, hello. Welcome everybody. My name is Jade Cruz, and I will be doing an art activity with you guys today. But before we get started, I just want to kind of go over who we are, who Art Matters is, and what we will be doing. And before that, some agreements, some community agreements. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. So the Art Matters is a program out of the Albuquerque Museum. We go to different youth-led organizations such as New Day, YSC, La Placita. We've worked with Art Street and Off Center as well. So our Art Matters mission statement is the Art Matters Youth Arts Project is a group of teaching artists who bring authentic, engaging arts experiences to Albuquerque youth. Our content is designed to engage participants in art making with the focus on social justice, whole person health, community joy, and creative engagement at the core of our process. So that is our statement, and I'm going to go ahead and switch the slide. So these are just some community agreements that we have come up with together that we kind of go over every time we do anything like a video like this, just so you guys can have a safe, creative place to create. So the first one is everyone has a voice, make space for all respectful questions, concerns, and ideas, learn from each other. Second one is respect each other, yourself, tools and materials, the environment, the process, try to engage in the process, try to hold space for joy and have fun. Third one is be an artist and a maker. That means taking creative risks, trying something new, and just having fun and creating. Fourth one is lifting each other up and sharing. So don't be afraid to ask questions, listen to each other. You can also give thoughtful, productive feedback. You can collaborate on certain things together, and then move up, move up, move up. So meaning, kind of take initiative within either your group or yourself and challenge yourself a little bit to push and challenge in this creative process. All right, so that is our community agreements. You can go ahead and pause the video if you want to go over it with your group, or add anything if you would like to add anything. All right, so with that, all that being said, we'll go ahead and get started with the activity that we're going to be doing. As you saw at the beginning, we are going to be doing an activity called the Wheel of Emotions. It's an art activity while also being a form of a therapeutic art activity that I kind of wanted to do with you all today. I think it's important to get in touch with our emotions, to be able to feel what we're feeling in our bodies, to be able to be present. And this is a good way to, sometimes I know people struggle with expressing their emotions verbally. For me, for example, I sometimes can struggle with words. So that's why I like to do art, because art can really explain and express my actual emotions and feelings with colors, with lines, with images, symbols. So sometimes it's just another way of expressing how you feel without having it to be words. So I thought this is helpful, especially if you're a young person trying to navigate through this world. All right, so first thing we're gonna do is I'm just gonna show you what materials you're gonna need. Let's get a few sheets of paper. We're gonna need we're gonna do a warm up, and then we're gonna do our final draft, but you could go ahead and maybe 3 just in case you want more. So paper, um, pencil, Sharpie, and a few markers. You can also do color pencils, you could do crayons, whatever you have available that's color. You can have more than this. And also if you want to do pen, that's cool too. But to keep it simple, we'll just use this. So pencil, paper, Sharpie, and color markers. All right, and so the first thing we're gonna do before we get started on any of the activity, you can go ahead and sit with yourself a little bit and kind of tune in to see how you're feeling. You could take some breaths. You can pause, you can kind of slow down and think of what are you feeling in this moment? What are you feeling right now in your body, in your mind, in your heart? Try to visualize maybe a color that you feel would represent how you're feeling. For me, I'm gonna choose a dark blue. So you can go ahead and choose a color. And then once you're done with your color, we don't want to think about it too much. This is just our warm up to kind of get in touch with our emotions in this moment. So we're just gonna start just kind of whatever comes to mind. It doesn't have to be anything perfect. It's just kind of a free flow of what you're feeling. And just kind of going for it and not thinking about it too much. And that's just to warm up our hand, warm up our bodies until we get to the next activity. So we're just gonna do this for not even a minute, or maybe a minute, and then we'll start the activity. So just kind of, yeah, let yourself be free with it. And I'm just gonna play some music while we do that, and then we'll get into the next activity. Think about lines that may represent how you're feeling right now. So you can think about shape, you can think about lines, color, maybe some patterns. No right or wrong. All right, so hopefully that was a little bit helpful for you to kind of loosen up. As you can see, it's just us getting lines and marks and whatever we're feeling out onto the paper. It doesn't have to necessarily look like anything specific, doesn't even have to be good. It's just how we're feeling in the moment. So if you want, you could pause this video and you can share a little bit if you want amongst your group. It doesn't have to be a long time, just kind of if you want to kind of share what you were feeling or anything that came up, and just yeah, just share with each other what it looks like if you want. You don't have to share. But we will move on to the next part of it. So now that we're kind of in tune with what we're feeling, we've kind of did a warm up. We've thought about, got into our bodies and try to express what is on our minds and hearts. And now we're going to do what is called the wheel of emotions. So in this activity, you're just going to need, again, a piece of paper. You could do a pencil. You could start with a pencil, or you could start with a Sharpie if you just want to freehand it. So this is an example of one I did, but I'm going to share my screen again to show you another example. I just pulled it off online. So as you can see, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 slices in this circle, and we're only going to do 6, but this is kind of just an example to kind of show you what it could look like with different emotions that they have here. And so they have sad, happy, joyful, scared, angry, confused. They have all these different emotions, and each little slice has different colors, different lines, different patterns representing how they feel about that emotion specifically. So for this person, these patterns of what looks like tears and the color blue, which is very similar to a lot of us, represent sad. And you can interpret this however you want, however sad looks like for you. It could be different colors. It doesn't have to be blue. So going back to this one, I only did half of it to show you an example. I also had blue with some tears, a moon here, and I have like shapes of like an ocean and water. So let's start with the circle. So if you want to grab a pencil or a Sharpie, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with our circle. And you can use a plate or anything that you want to kind of create your circle, or you just kind of freehand it. I'm going to go ahead and just try to freehand it. It doesn't have to be perfect as long as it's round. So you can see it's not perfect. So that's going to be our wheel. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to make kind of like an X, but kind of make it on the smaller side. And then when you're done with the X, you're just gonna slice these in half. So a line, you could do a line right across the middle. And so that's gonna give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spaces for 6 different emotions that you want to use. For example, on mine, I used sad, joy, grief, anxious, rage, love. So you could use these ones. You could come up with your own. I suggest doing ones that you feel the most, or the ones that you feel that express, who you are. It could be, it's okay to have all emotions. So it's okay to be angry. It's okay to feel sad. It's okay to feel anxious and love and joy. It's okay to feel all emotions. So don't feel scared or afraid to add the ones that, I added rage, and a lot of people maybe wouldn't add that because it's not seen as a good emotion, but all emotions are okay. So you guys can go ahead and write what emotions that you're gonna do. So you can kind of take your time. You can also add the one that you just felt a minute ago. So an example of one could be happy. Another one could be scared. And another one could be mad. And then another one could be let's put joy. So try to think of different ones that represent you. These are just examples. And once you're done, you could pause this video if you want to continue writing all the emotions. And then once you come back to unpause it, then we can go ahead and get started on each of these. So now that you're back, think about, start with one that you really want to just get started on. And let's do joy. So for you all, think about the emotion, think about the color, think about any shapes or images or symbols that kind of represent that emotion. So for example, thinking about joy, what color do you feel joy is? I'm gonna go with a little bit of orange, a little bit of yellow, because it feels very bright, it feels very happy. It's very smiley. So I'm just filling this in. I have no plan, but you can have a plan if you want. Kind of fill in your triangles, circles. You can focus on patterns. You can do a nice drawing inside. There's no right or wrong way to do it. And for some reason, this pattern called to me for joy. And I'm gonna put some, I don't know, some squiggly lines sound nice for joy. It's very fluid, it's just flowing, just in the moment when I'm feeling joyful. Not thinking too much, not in my head too much. Maybe little dots. I don't want to just put a little smiley face or something. So it could, however you want that to look, you could also take your time more. You don't have to do it as fast as I did. I did that for the purpose of this video. So yeah, go ahead and take your time. And we will move on to anxious. Let's move on to anxious. So again, you may not have this on your video or your paper, but again, think about color, think about patterns, think about images, think about symbols. It could be your own individual, or it could be like a collective image that people usually use. And for me, I think I'm gonna choose black. Yeah, like a kind of a dark color. And I always feel very like this. Kind of chaotic, nothing's making sense. So I'm all over. So you can represent it in lines or in colors. And I think I'm gonna just fill in each space with a different color. Because if I'm feeling anxious, everything kind of feels very compartmentalized all over the place and kind of a mess, but there's like very many pieces that are not connecting. Almost like electrical, but like there's electrical wires that are not functioning right. And then you can think about different colors too. Um, so let's see, I'll just do a couple more and then move on to the next one. Let's do a little bit of black. There we go. So something like that. All right, so hopefully you guys are kind of getting the idea, kind of the hang of it. You can, yeah, continue just working. You can even talk to each other if you want, or you can work alone to kind of just feel what you're feeling or talk about your emotions with others and share and see how others are expressing their emotions through art. We're gonna do one more and then we'll wrap it up. So this next one, save the best for last, love. Um, so love is, experienced very differently from different within different people, different cultures, different genders. So what color do you guys think of when you think of love? I think a lot of the cultures have, or people have red or pink for love. So I'm gonna go ahead and just start with some red. Don't have a plan again, but you can have a plan if you want. If you want to sketch it out with a pencil first, you can. I'm just gonna go for it. Again, very fluid, almost like melty feeling. So as I'm filling this in, you all can continue working. Again, the questions to consider are how is this activity for you? How does it talking about your emotions or getting in touch with your emotions, how does it make you feel? Do you hate it? A lot of people do. Or some people really like it because it helps them to express what they're feeling. And for this activity, I want to challenge you guys to, yeah, to really kind of open up a little bit and get a little bit in touch with how you're feeling. I know it's hard, but once you actually have an opportunity to express yourself, it can be really nice. So I think yeah, that's all I'm gonna add to it. There it is. So very fluid, very reddish toned, warm, very warm colors, um, for love. All right, you all. Well, that's it for us for today. I hope you guys really, had a good time making some art together. Um, just a reminder, when working on this wheel of emotions, I consider the color, consider the lines, when thinking of different emotions, what images would represent sad, joy, grief, anxious, rage, or love, or any of the emotions that you have put down on your paper. Think about how your feeling can be translated into color and line and pattern and image and symbol and shapes as well. So yeah, that's about it. Whenever you're done, go ahead and you can share with each other if that feels like something you all want to do, if you want to talk about it. If not, then you can go ahead and work alone. And once you're done, be sure to clean up your supplies, put the lids on the markers. And yeah, thanks for making art today. I'll see you guys next time.